Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers fans, welcome back to Blitzburg Squad. I'm Wesley Seeley, joined alongside Shane Smith. Thanks for joining us as we dive into the Week 9 preview of the Steelers at the Cowboys. So, Shane, we got a 7-0 team traveling to a 2-6 team who has looked extremely bad. Somehow they have 2 wins.
Well, that was when Dak was in.
Yeah, true. And they're still somehow in the race in their division. So explain to me that.
They could be like 5-11 and possibly take their division this year. That's how bad they are.
Yeah.
Like, all you have to do is win your division games and you're fine.
That's what I was going to say. Just beat the people in your division and you'll probably make it.
Horrible.
It's horrible, man.
It's horrible.
This is not a super exciting matchup just because of there's not so much hype to go along with the Cowboys. If it would have been Dak playing quarterback, it would have been a different story. I think it would have been a really good matchup.
Game of the week to look at. But no, you're right. No Dak. Who knows what quarterback? It's their 4th or 5th string going in.
Yeah, who were the names? Who were the guys they pulled off the couch?
Cooper Rush or
Garrett Gilbert.
Yeah, Garrett Gilbert. So just no-name guys who have
how many snaps?
They've thrown a total of 9 passes. I don't know if any of them were completed or whatnot.
Does that count preseason, or is that actually like?
I think that's actual in-game.
Okay,
but I'm not 100% sure on that one. So it could only be preseason, and wouldn't that be something? But yeah, no, it's just it's not an exciting. You're right, it's not an exciting game. It's not an exciting game for football fans. It's something for a Steelers fan. You're looking at it and you're like, I'm super excited, but I don't want to see any sort of a letdown.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Hopefully the Steelers don't look at it like we're looking at it. Like, hey, this is an exciting game. Let's look to the next week.
Well, and hopefully, Tomlin's good at doing this, and Tomlin can say, Tomlin can talk up anybody, even if it's a horrible person or a horrible team. He'll still make them sound great.
Right.
He's really good at doing that, so he's really good at making sure his guys are prepared. And honestly, his speech should be, they're 1 or 1.5 games back in their division.
Mm-hmm. So they're still going to be fighting.
They're still in this. They're still fighting. They're not just laying down.
Exactly.
So you need to come out to play, or else they're going to just trounce all over you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think knowing that, the Steelers, and knowing, you have a cushion now, but you don't want to waste that cushion, because if you're to lose any, if you were to lose, for goodness sakes, at Heinz Field to Baltimore later this season, you need to stay undefeated up until that point, because then you're still a game ahead at that point. Or if you lose now and then lose to that, well, now you're back into, okay, are you a wild card or are you a number 1 seed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
So it's one of those where you can't lay down, and hopefully our offense doesn't have a hard time against their defense. Their defense is just horrible. And so ultimately we should see our offense come to play, but how much?
Right. Well, the cool thing is last week was a really extremely hard test for the offense. Baltimore is no slouch. Their defense is top 3, I think.
At
top
least.
3 or top 5. And being a division game, it makes it even tougher. So, I feel like our offense has just gotten progressively better each week, and I don't even think they've reached their ceiling yet.
Oh, no.
So it's really it's cool because they haven't gotten to that top tier yet, and I think they can. Like, they have all the playmakers and they have all the pieces in the right spots to do it. They just got to finally put the right game plan and start playing all good together.
Not that it has to, but I'd love to see Ben throw for over 300 in a game.
Right? Have we seen it yet?
I don't think so. Not to my knowledge, at least.
I can't remember if he has.
Most of the time, it's like 200-ish to my knowledge. And because I know last week he was under 200, but he threw like 155 in the second half total. So, it's hit or miss.
The only one I can maybe think of is that Broncos game, because he had the long one to chase, and then he had another like 30 or 35-yarder to the back of the end zone with Deontay.
Okay,
so
maybe.
That's over 100 there. So it could be maybe that game, but I'm not even sure about that.
Right. But yeah, I mean, we know that Ben can throw for 300 plus, and I would love to see our quarterback throw for 300 plus and our running back run for 100 plus. I couldn't tell you the last time we've seen that. Probably honestly back with the Killer Bees.
Yeah.
When they were in full. And so I think this could be the game to do it. Come out of the gate heavy, try to get the score up, and then just focus on running the ball.
Right.
So maybe throw their defense off their game. Their defense is historically bad at running or on run defense. It's like almost 180 yards a game they're allowing. They gave up 307 to the Browns.
Jeez. I remember that.
So when you're looking at things like that, this whole week, I'm sure Mike McCarthy and the Dallas team's going to say, okay, we need to focus on our run defense. And so maybe they're going to say, listen, Ben's been throwing it short.
Yeah.
And, running an RPO-style offense, let's stack the box and keep things at the line of scrimmage, since he's throwing, his air yards is within 5 yards.
Right.
So I think this could be where Ben takes some deep shots, throws them off their game, and then we're up by a few scores, and all of a sudden we're like, yeah, we're just going to run the clock out now.
Definitely. I hope you're right. I mean, it would be sweet to have Connor finally get back into the groove because Tennessee and Baltimore, he didn't get going.
No.
Right? So, and he was before that, though, I think.
Yeah, he was doing really well. And I know a lot of people have said, well, Baltimore was stuffing him and things like that. But I also think the way the Steelers were running the ball last week, it just didn't work out. How many times have we seen, Derek Watt couldn't go out because of his hamstring and he didn't want to re-injure it. How many times have we seen Vance McDonald take that fullback role? I didn't see him back there at all last week to try and do that. That's like on that 3rd and 1 when we could have iced out the game and, kind of saved all the Steeler fans a heart attack and a half. Put Vance back there and just push the pile a little bit to get Connor that extra yard. And so last week I don't think was necessarily his fault, and the Ravens did a good job at doing a counteractiveness, but I think ultimately it falls on Fiechner coming up with a game plan, or if Fiechner's game plan's bad, Ben saying no. I respect you, Fiechner. Get out the way. This is my show today.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, well, if they can either formulate a better game plan, because like you said, if Dallas has that bad of a rushing defense, get a better game plan going for Connor and Snell and McFarland, whoever you got to throw in the mix of things, get things rolling, get that running game going, because we've got the guys to rush for 100. But I also get it, too, because we've got a bunch of guys to throw the ball to, so it's like pick your poison.
Right. Which is why a lot of our players aren't getting 100-plus yards, which is fine. I don't mind that, and they don't mind that, but I don't want us to come in slouching at all and saying, oh, this is the Dallas Cowboys, Dak's out, they're a lost team, and although that may be true, again, they're 1.5 games out of the division, so I think our offense will go off and maybe the yards will be there, but I'm going to say don't necessarily look for, at least based on my score that I have, don't necessarily look for an out of the ballpark score. Don't look like they're going to win by 30 points. Because the Steelers don't want to continue to throw the ball and then cause a stupid turnover and then put Dallas right back in where they don't want them to be. So
yeah, if in my prediction, I mean, I just really think the Steelers' offense would really have to flub this one up to give it away. Because I think the defense is pretty consistent. They're going to probably do their thing. The offense is the only thing this year that's kind of been a little bit inconsistent on certain games. But I still think, like I said, we've kind of just gotten better week by week, and they're getting to the groove of things. Claypool's getting comfortable. Ben's getting comfortable with him. I think Deontay Johnson finally is not on the injury report this week for the first time.
Yeah, I didn't see him on there.
So I'm hoping that he's good to go. Just we've got so many weapons, man. And Ben's just been, other than the Titans game, really mistake free this whole year.
Right.
Yeah,
Titans. He had the 3 bad picks. And even before that, his pick against the Broncos was a bad play, but it was a better play made by Justin Simmons than really a bad throw by Ben.
Right.
Because Justin Simmons one-handed that and was able to cup it to where, if it was somebody else, that may have just fallen to the ground, and up until the Titans game, Ben might have been mistake-free.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they come out run heavy against the Cowboys or if they just come out flying like they did, second half against the Ravens. They were just spreading around. Did you see Ben said that it was really like backyard ball? I don't know if you saw that quote by him.
Yeah,
he was saying
I did.
They were like literally just drawing up plays, and he was like telling where to run, and the receivers were all in sync. That's pretty impressive that they can just do that kind of on a fly.
And that was Ben running it, not Fiechner running it, and it paid.
You saw
dividends.
the difference. Yep.
Yeah. Fiechner's not a good offensive coordinator. I think we've known that for years. And so ultimately that's what makes me nervous. But when Ben can run his own show, we seem to do fine. And I would honestly love for our offense, first play of the game, I know we don't run it a whole heck of a lot, play action deep ball.
Might as well.
Yeah, because I would like to see how they're stacking. If they have 6 or 7 guys in the box trying to see if we're going to do an RPO, even an RPO-style play action where you're back in the shotgun, hand it off so Ben's not necessarily turning his back to Randy Gregory or Alden Smith if they're playing, but then just send Chase or Johnson or Juju or even all 3 just on a streak or like a fake in and then straight up and just to see if you can get somebody to bite and then Ben take his pick as to who to go to on a deep play.
Yeah.
I'd love to see something like that because I don't think we've seen that for our first play of the game all year.
Yeah, I think you're right. It would be cool to finally just, take a shot right away. We'll see, man. I don't know really who Cowboys corners are.
I don't know either. I know they got their 2 starters back, and they got rid of the Wormley guy or Worley or whatever.
Yeah.
They got rid of him, but it didn't seem to really make a difference last week either. Maybe a slight difference.
Do they have that Awuzie guy?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah,
I
think he's back.
Okay.
Either that or he was one of the guys that got. I don't know. I can't keep track. The only guy that I know I know they have Jalen Smith.
Yep. They have Van Der Esch.
Leighton Vander Esch.
Demarcus
Lawrence, Randy Gregory, Alden Smith.
Yep.
And Alden Smith's been limited, and Randy Gregory, this is like his first action in how many years? Since he played for the Panthers, right?
Oh, maybe. I knew Alden Smith.
Yeah, which has been a while, too.
He was out of the NFL.
They've been that desperate for pass rush help. Because Randy Gregory, I want to say
recognize him.
I want to say he used to play for the Panthers. Then he got in trouble because he tossed his girlfriend at the time on a pile of guns. I'm pretty sure this is the same guy because then I'm pretty sure after he got kicked out of the league, he went to the UFC.
Wasn't that? Oh, I don't know. It might have been him.
Because, either way, I know it's been a long time since Gregory's played, and he played okay last week from what I've seen of him, but it's still, I don't know, they're not an impressive defensive team at least.
And those are really, those guys that we rattled off, those are like the only guys I know on their defense.
Right.
So I might be missing some guys there, but.
And Van Der Esch is hit or miss. Great guy when he's on the field.
Right.
But boy, is
he broke his clavicle early this year or something, I swear.
Yeah, and I seen he was back last week, but didn't seem to help a whole lot, so we'll kind of see how that works. But
when your defense is just overall that bad, I mean, it's just...
Yeah, one guy doesn't make a difference on it, that's for sure. Even getting corners back when they're not elite corners. When you lose Byron Smith, right? Byron Jones went to Miami.
Yeah.
He was your staple corner, and you didn't pay him, and it's showing.
Bye-bye.
Things like that show. But I guess enough about their defense and how bad it is and how our offense should feast. So how do we feel about their offense and how our defense should feast?
Ooh, man, I'd like to say their offense is probably going to look rough. It's weird to think, though, because we don't know very much about Cooper Rush and Garrett Gilbert.
Yeah, or if they decide to even throw the weird ball and throw in that Ben DiNucci.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if they did, though, because you saw what Jerry Jones came out and said about him. like completely unprepared. He wasn't up for the task of playing the Eagles on that Sunday night game.
Yeah, and the Eagles' front four or front seven is not nearly as scary as our front seven.
No, theirs is good, but it's not
solid.
Yeah, and they were getting after him
all the time, the whole game. So it's their offensive line is the worst part. They went from like the best offensive line in the league to horrible. And I know they had some injuries, but I can tell you that all 5 of them didn't go down, and all 5 of them were supposed to be really stellar, really good, and meshed well together. And it seemed like once they lost one, it started to go downhill. Then they lost another, and it started to go downhill. And then Dak went out, and then their whole line just didn't give a crap anymore. Zeke Elliott, who was considered an elite back, isn't running the ball very well.
Fumbling issues, too.
Fumbling horribly this year. I think he's at, 4.
I think you're right.
And I want to say he had, 4 his entire career before this season.
Right.
And so you have a lot of weapons, but you can't get to them because Zeke's not able to run the ball, so it's not able to set anything else up. Your line's not blocking you to give you time, so Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb are just kind of pieces that, I don't know, they're just pieces on a chessboard that just go straight or whatever every time, and they're like, okay, well, we know the guy's getting hit, so.
Yeah, dude, it's, I don't know, man. It's like, there's a slight chance we could be surprised, and Cooper or Garrett Gilbert come out and ball out. Maybe they know and control the offense better than DiNucci, you know?
Right. I mean, the only worry is we took Drew Lock out week 2, and then what's his face stepped in? Can't even think of the guy's name.
Driscoll.
Yes, Jeff Driscoll stepped in and
played
good
lights out
because we didn't know how to play him.
Yeah.
Because we had went for Drew Lock. Well, now we don't know who we're playing. We just know it's not Dak, it's not Andy Dalton, it's not Ben DiNucci, it's some other Joe Schmo, and we don't know how they play. Are they able to run? Are they, do they run an RPO? I don't know. If they can run an RPO, is their offensive coordinator going to know that and try to run it like that, or is he going to try and run a Dak offense? There's so many unknowns that it's like, oh man, could this be a game? Again, that trap game where maybe we get down or something because we don't know. But I don't know. I just can't see it because our defense is just too hungry to prove people that we are good.
Yeah,
especially after last week. And honestly, stop me if you've heard this before, I think our defense's key to the game is stopping the run.
Once or twice.
We stop the run, we make this guy who doesn't know how to throw, or, I guess he's a quarterback, he knows how to throw, but, doesn't know how to throw against an elite level.
Right. Whether he's thrown in the preseason or in a couple snaps in the regular season.
Not the same.
And you know what, too, to your point, if we stop the run, there's talks that Zeke isn't going to play this game, that he's been dealing with a hamstring.
Right.
So we'll have to see what happens tomorrow for the practice report for the Cowboys. But if he's out, man, that puts so much more pressure on whoever's starting.
Is Alfred Morris still their backup running back? Or is he somewhere else now?
You might be right. I really don't know that much about the Cowboys.
I don't either. And so it's to the point where you go from Zeke to somebody else. That's a big drop-off, even though Zeke's played bad this year.
Yeah.
Almost just like their tight end. Their tight end wasn't elite, but he was good. He got injured. I don't know who they have in there, and I don't think that guy's any good either.
Whoever he is, I don't know.
And they've just kind of been hit with the injury and just unlucky bug this year.
Well, and I was going to say, too, it's just goes to show you, kudos to Mike Tomlin and the Steelers defense last year for making us contenders last year, going down to our third-string quarterback. Because people this is what it typically looks like for the Cowboys. When you got down to your, what are they in?
They're on their 4th or 5th.
Yeah, so, they're really stretching. But even for us going to the third.
Right.
Man, it's just so much to ask of a football team. And then for us to come out 8-8 to end the season when you could have been looking 2-6, and who knows how they'll finish out the season. But they've just looked disastrous, and they can't seem to get anything going. And their defense isn't great. Their offense isn't great. It's just a dumpster fire, seems like, so far.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're in it for Trevor Lawrence, and Dak Prescott's going to hit the open market.
So is everybody else, huh?
Yeah.
They can battle the Jets for that.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. I can't remember the two guys that are in battle for number one. I know it's Trevor Lawrence, and there's another quarterback, maybe the guy out of Ohio State.
Ohio State. That's what I was thinking too.
So it seems like if you don't win the division, it's one team's getting Trevor Lawrence, the other team's taking this, and there's a chance that Dak and Sam Darnold hit the open market.
Yeah.
Which I think would be dumb on the Cowboys. If this doesn't show you something, Dak is the heart of that team.
Yeah, he was on a tear
because
of the season.
when he busted his ankle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ankle, leg, whatever. I mean, the whole team just went spiraling.
Mm-hmm.
Like their defense was already bad. It got worse, which we didn't think was possible. And their offense still shows well, but that's just because he was averaging 450 yards a game.
Right. Yeah, you're right, man. And thinking about it too, the Cowboys technically really could be 0-6 because their one win against the Falcons was that onside kick.
Yeah.
And then I think they had a really close game against the Giants for their other win.
I think so. Which both Dak won.
Yeah, exactly.
Dak was able to pull those games out. So you're right. They could go from 2-6 to 0-8, and they could be tied with the Jets right now.
0-8, it would make more sense.
But yeah, no, it's just one of those where I really think we're going to be in the backfield the entire time. I don't see where we're not, and I don't even know if we'll have to rush more than 4.
I was kind of thinking it would kind of be similar to that Giants opener when we were just back there harassing Saquon the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be maybe that bad, but I think we'll definitely be back there a lot.
Right.
Stopping the play before it gets started and just really harassing whoever their quarterback's going to be.
Yeah, it's literally going to be a meeting of the minds. It's going to be, okay, is Bud, Tuitt, Watt, Hayward, or Buggs going to be the first one back there? I mean, who's it going to be, and how hard are you hitting the guy? I mean,
and they've got the weapons, man. Amari and CD and Michael Gallup, but can you get it to them?
They're going to have to do, I mean, it's literally going to have to be snap throw.
Right.
And,
screen.
And that's one where you don't know with a young quarterback or a quarterback that doesn't know enough.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to hold on to the ball because it looks like Steven Nelson or Joe Hayden or Minka is going to make a jump on it?
Mm-hmm.
And so are they going to hold it that extra second and then get hit to where Dak at least has the wherewithal of like, no, this guy's not open. Let me hit this guy. Or no, this guy I'm not sure. Right. And he takes off with it. Dak has that experience to where either one of these guys don't. And boy, oh boy, is McCarthy and Jones putting whoever the quarterback is in a rough situation.
That's what I was going to say. No matter how you slice and dice it, ultimately it comes down to you're asking – it's just too tall of a task, in our opinions, it sounds like, for whoever it is. Danucci, who's the other guy? I know Gilbert.
Rush. Gilbert, yeah.
Yes, I couldn't think of Cooper Rush. Whoever it is back there, man, it's just too tall of a task to face our defense. Like, you're not just facing another team. Like, you're talking about the top 1, 2, 3 defense in the league.
Yeah.
It's just, part of me feels a little bit of sympathy for the quarterback. But
no sympathy.
But yeah.
I mean, honestly, our offense will probably bail them out from their defense or offense getting harassed as much because our offense will eventually, maybe not quote unquote, take the pedal off, but they're going to start running it more to kind of kill that clock because. The Steelers are one about we don't want to make mistakes, but at the same time, the Steelers don't want to hurt people on either side of the ball. They don't want to push their defense to the edge and hurt some key guy like Watt or something, and they don't want to see another guy get killed because they're trying to bust themselves back into the game. And so it's going to be interesting. And then, I mean, the other interesting thing is I'm assuming, like most other teams, they have an extra punter on the team, but their punter hasn't practiced all week.
Yikes.
And so he's do not practice with an abdomen. So if he doesn't practice tomorrow or even on a limited, I'd assume he's out. And I don't know if it's a rookie. I don't know if they're going to go out and sign Dustin Colquitt. I don't know who they'll do. And at that point, could that play a factor too?
Right.
I haven't seen anything. Again, I don't follow the Cowboys to know if they picked up another guy to have practice or if they're having their kicker replicate punts or something like that.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe their kicker could.
Because he could botch it or something along those lines, and well, now all of a sudden your special teams becomes a liability as well.
Totally.
This could be the game that Ray takes one all the way.
I hope so, man. We've been waiting for it.
He's been so close.
So close.
So close so many times.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. One of these days.
This game could come to be a surprise for us. It could be a trap game, but I just, like we've said so many times, this team just feels different. It doesn't feel like that team that would let basically lose games that they should win.
Right. We've done that this year. We've overcome it as well. And honestly, I'd be looking more of a trap game, not this week, but the following week against the Bengals. After they upset the Titans. But yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those games where, I really like the Steelers, and I believe they're going to win and everything. I don't feel that nervousness of a trap game. It's
right.
But I'm also not going into it overconfident.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not overselling it because I'm sitting there. I told you this beforehand, but I think it's like over the course it's like 10 for 18 when the Steelers are like major, or like the team that the Steelers are playing are major underdogs, which the Cowboys are 14-point underdogs. The Steelers aren't making that point differential. So more often than not, they're not beating them by that quote-unquote point differential, but there's many things playing into that factor. So it's one of those where people could say, like, oh, well, the Steelers only won by a touchdown or 10 points to the Cowboys, but then when you look at it, it's like, yeah, we harassed them, then we just literally ran out the clock.
Yeah.
Like, we just basically were like, here, we're pitying you.
We had Mason Rudolph in at that point.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. But, yeah, it's... I understand that too. It's like, and if I hear one more time, well, look who have the Steelers played.
I don't care. Look at the Baltimore Ravens and who they've played.
You could literally say that about any team, though.
Yeah. Like look at who the Chiefs lost to.
Yeah.
The Raiders.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Look at who the Chiefs or who the Ravens have lost to. The Chiefs and the Steelers.
Yeah.
So say what you want. We're the only undefeated team.
Right, and yeah, I don't know. I don't like when people dice it like that because I'm sure we're the most hated team in the league right now because we're undefeated.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? So it's like I'm sure a lot of fan bases are thinking, well, why are the Steelers undefeated? Oh, look at their schedule. Look, no kidding, they're undefeated.
We didn't make the schedule. The NFL did.
Exactly.
This is the first time the NFL gave us a good schedule. How many times did the Patriots and Tom Brady have the easiest schedule in the league? Nobody. Well, okay. Not nobody.
Every year.
Yeah, every year.
They play the Jets twice and the Dolphins twice.
Jets, Dolphins, and Bills. They were all bad. That was 6 free wins for them for a decade or more. So I have no.
People can maybe argue that we've had the Browns twice every year. But this year the Browns are a different team. But in the years past,
Browns are a different team, and the Bengals have kind of taken that place.
Yeah.
Our division has never been in a cakewalk because the freaking Ravens.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think since the Ravens have come back and we switched around our division, I don't think it's been 3 straight seasons ever that the AFC North has taken it. And so, I mean, it just goes to show you like how tough. Because how many times did the Patriots win? Like 20 years straight or something like that? The only time I can think of that they wouldn't have is when Brady tore his ACL and Matt Castle.
Yeah, I think they still.
And they still made playoffs.
Yeah,
like I don't care what people say. We didn't make the schedule.
Exactly.
We just get to enjoy it.
Exactly. We just keep winning, man.
Yep.
So I just wanted to quickly rant about that because I just keep hearing that. It just drives me nuts, man.
Yeah, no, I hear it too. I just block out the noise at this point.
Yeah.
So
whatever. Injury report. Like I said, Deontay Johnson wasn't on there.
Nope.
Was Ben and Juju on there?
Ben was on there today. He was not injury related, so they gave him 2. Oh, they said full. Sorry, okay. He didn't practice Wednesday. He was on there.
Okay.
He was practicing Thursday again. The only ones that did not practice was Mike Hilton with his shoulder was limited.
Okay.
For the 5th straight practice or whatever, because last week he went in limited.
Yeah.
And so this week he's been limited as
well.
4th or 5th. Stefan Wisniewski did not practice. He's probably not going to be active. So I know we're trying to get him back on track. Alualu, we've already been told it's like an MCL sprain, so it's probably going to be 2 to 3 weeks, which is okay. We're at a spot, and Bugs looked okay in the second half that we can deal with that. Bugs did not practice with an ankle, which makes people get worried, but at the same time, he said he was going to be ready, and he was learning. So they may just be making sure that he's rested up to be able to play. And I know people had talked about having Chris Wormley, which he's not on here, and I could have sworn last Friday we threw him on the injured reserve.
That's what I thought.
But I keep hearing people say, like, oh, Chris Wormley will play. But I could have sworn we threw him on the IR.
That's what I was thinking, but...
So maybe I missed it completely.
Maybe we both missed it completely.
Or maybe the other people are talking about it, but I really could have sworn that we did Wormley, and that was part of the reason why Mondo was up and Bugs was active, because he hadn't been active for a while.
Right.
So...
Yeah, because I would have thought with Alualu going out and Bugs coming in, and then there was some packages where we switched to like that 4-3, and Mondo came in. It was like, why wouldn't you have Wormley in there instead of him?
Right.
Right. So
yeah, no.
It's got to be. He's got to be on IR because of that.
Yeah, which was his knee, I think, right?
I think so, yeah.
So he's out at least the next 2 weeks, if not longer.
You know what, though? That's really good. I mean, probably the better news for Alualu, that it's only, 3 weeks, you said? 2 to 3 weeks?
2 to 3 weeks, yeah.
So, what are we? Week 9?
Yeah, week 9. So technically our 8th game, so we'll have 8 games after that. So that would put us back with about 6 games remaining if he misses a full 3 weeks.
Well, and I think it's week 12 we play the Ravens.
Something like that.
So he'd be back for that, hopefully. And we need him back for that one.
Right.
So whatever. If he can just stay healthy, get back to healthy for that game only, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, because after the Cowboys, I want to say it goes Bengals, Jags, and then is it Bengals-Ravens or is it Ravens-Bengals? I want to say it's Ravens-Bengals because Bengals is a Monday night game. So I want to say we get 11 days
All
off.
I know... No, wait. Bengals, Jags.
I could look, I guess.
There's 3 games before the Ravens. So, yeah, wait. So I think it's just Bengals, Jags, and then Ravens.
It is Cowboys, Bengals, Jags, Ravens, football team Bills, Bengals, Colts, Browns.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Bengals are way back there.
Yeah, because somebody said we could go into the Ravens game being 10-0.
Yeah, we could.
Very possible.
We very possibly can the way we're playing this year.
Yep.
So.
Sweet. Okay, so what do you have for a bold prediction for this game?
My bold prediction is our defense is going to have 10-plus sacks. And that'll get us back on track to have 80 on the season.
That would do it. I mean, that would definitely help. 10. Have we ever gotten 10?
In a game? I don't know. Probably not. Probably not since, like, back in the 70s when you and I weren't alive.
Man, that would be crazy. I mean, you could definitely see it happen with how their lines played, how their quarterback play has been. Whew.
If any team could do it, it would be us.
Oh, yeah.
But it could be that it gets so far out of hand that they, kind of like the Browns, they just start running the ball more because they're like, no, please, just
right.
Just
I'd almost have to see it happen from first quarter to third quarter.
Oh, for
if
sure.
If it doesn't happen by the fourth, I don't know if you'll see it.
Right.
So, for my bold prediction, I think I'm going to go. I think Vance McDonald is going to get a touchdown.
Okay. I was going to say, he's kind of the forgotten guy
now.
Yeah,
he really hasn't been involved that much, and
No.
I'm kind of sad because I like the dude. But I like Ebron, too, so it's not like it's that much of a miss.
I like Ebron way better than Vance, but Vance is a big burly guy now that he's kind of taken on that Heath Miller role. And I like it, but it just, he's accepted it. And
I'll say maybe we get in the scenario where we get down in like the inside the 10 and just like a play action or something. He does like a route and just get him on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully we get him involved. I'd like to see him get a little bit more involved. We don't run a whole lot of like 2 tight end sets because of how many like wide receivers we have, and Juju and Claypool being good blocking wide receivers. Like, I don't know. I feel like we don't see very many 2 tight end sets.
No, not too often.
So, I don't know. We'll see. Did you say Derek Watt's supposed to be back this game or no?
Yeah, he's not listed on the injury report anymore, so he should be back and good to go.
Cool. Awesome. What do you have for a score prediction for this game?
My score is 28-18, all because of the spread. Like I said, 10 of 18. So we could blow them out of the water like we did the Browns, but I'm going to say we keep it close, but the score kind of deceives how it looks. I think the Cowboys are going to only score field goals. And at that point, we're just harassing them so much that the Steelers are just doing whatever to run out the clock and just kind of running the ball and chunking these plays to take, 8-minute drives and that.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to go with Steelers 34-13. So I'm going to say
domination.
It's pretty big margin of victory. And, I think if this is the game to put up maybe even 40, this might be the one to do it.
Mm-hmm.
With their rush defense and pass defense looking the way the Cowboys has.
Right.
Could happen, man. I'll stick with 34, be on the safe side. I won't go overconfident like we said. I won't be too overconfident, but I think I have a good feeling about this game. So
Yeah, I'm not nervous, but I'm also not going to – I'm not going to be one of those people like, yeah, go, we're going to win by 80.
Yeah, we're going to smash them like 50 to negative.
It's not something that I'm going to do just because I have respect for
right.
them, even though
they're still
horrible.
A football team.
Yeah.
They're any given Sunday, man.
Yep.
You never know. So
it's happened before.
Yep, exactly.
How many times has it happened to us and the Jaguars in Jacksonville?
This could be the first time in franchise history that we get to 8-0.
Yeah, this would make history.
So that's kind of exciting, even if it's an ugly win or a blowout, like whatever it is, it'd be cool just to get to 8-0 for the first time ever.
Win is a win. 8-0 would be great.
To be able to witness that'd be sweet. So, all right, cool. Will you have anything else to add, man?
No.
Sick. Okay. Well, cool. Thanks for everybody joining in to the preview. We appreciate that, and we'll be back to recap the game.
Yeah, we'll be back to recap. Thanks for everybody who liked, commented, and subscribed on the YouTube for the giveaway. Mr. Josh Dalton was able to win that, so congratulations on that, sir. Maybe something that we think about doing in the future as well. But
I was going to say, we'll probably have another giveaway pretty soon. So
Christmas is coming.
That's right. Yeah, stay tuned for that. So, well, cool, man. I don't have anything else to add to you.
Nope.
Cool. All right, we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thank you.
Go Steelers.
That's right.